My new coworker is the guy who naked manned me on a Zoom date. Life has thrown me a cruel yet hilarious plot twist, and I'm honestly at a loss for how to handle it. Back in 2020, during the height of the pandemic, I did what many singles did. I went on virtual dates through apps. One date stands out in my memory. I was chatting with a guy when, out of nowhere, he started taking his clothes off. There was no warning, no flirty vibe, just him disrobing. We had been making dinner in our respective kitchens and discussing our interests, but suddenly he took off his shirt while I was talking about my family. I paused and asked, what's going on here? He shrugged it off and said he was going to relocate. I thought it was odd, but kept talking, assuming maybe he was just quirky. Then, he walked back to his bedroom and dropped his basketball shorts right in front of the camera. I quickly suggested that perhaps clothing should stay on, but he ignored me and continued discussing his family. At that point, I decided to exit the conversation with a hasty, "It's late, gotta go," fearing I might witness something I didn't want to see. I never spoke to him again until my first day at my new job. Just 2 minutes before my team introduction call, I checked the org chart and realized that not only was he in my organization, but he was also on my immediate team. I played it cool during the call, pretending I didn't know him, and thankfully, he seemed to do the same. Unfortunately, I would have to work with him somewhat, as he was the most tenured member of the team. I found myself wondering how I should handle this. Should I tell someone? Do I confront him? Fast forward 6 months, and I took your advice to play ignorant. During my second week, I ended up having lunch with him to avoid any awkwardness. My manager was really pushing for team lunches. Aside from him standing a little too close while we waited in line, I managed to keep things professional throughout the hour. He didn't mention our past encounter, but I could sense he was aware of it from some of his comments. As time went on, I noticed some concerning behavior from my manager. He made offhand comments that left me feeling uneasy. For instance, during a project call, he told me, "You can't think like you, Miss Pride and Prejudice on your shelf." I had been quiet, but his comment was completely out of the blue. Another time, I excitedly shared that I had gotten tickets to see a very popular artist, and he interrupted with, "So it was just you and a stadium of teenage girls?" And, "We pay you too much if you can afford that." Eventually, I confronted him about his comments, expressing my concerns about respect and trust. He claimed they were just jokes and insisted I should have known that. During our discussion, I decided to share the naked man story with him. He was stunned, but thanked me for being honest and said he would keep that in mind when assigning projects. True to his word, I didn't have to work closely with the naked manning coworker, and I felt relieved to keep my distance. Since I confronted my manager, he has been much more respectful. Recently, the naked manning coworker was laid off, and while I felt a twinge of guilt, it was a relief to know I wouldn't have to deal with that situation anymore. It felt like a weight had been lifted, knowing I had one less poorly behaved person to navigate daily at work.